about three important tips. The art of negotiations, right? If they would have offered me like 14 or 15. Hi, looking at the title of the video, you must have already understood what this video is going to be, right? My name is Satyajit Pattnaik and welcome back to this channel. This is going to be the first non-technical video on this channel which we are not famous about. We are mostly known for technical videos on data analysis, on data science and AI. And for the very first time, I'm here with a dedicated end-to-end video on a non-technical topic which is also very, very important. Well, talking about the job hunting process, many of you are maybe right now learning AI or data science or data analytics, and eventually will be applying for jobs, right? And while we apply for jobs, there are certain strategies that we need to follow, and barely people talk about this. So in this video, I'm going to dedicatedly talk about three important tips or strategies that you need in your job hunting process. On top of that, stay tuned till the end because I'm going to share a very, very important tip, or you can say an important strategy, or maybe one of the weapons for salary negotiations. How can we negotiate salaries? So that tips will also be shared at the end of this video. Let's get started. So talking about the job hunting process, there are three important things that I usually talk about. I usually tell all of my students. The first thing is very, very crucial, which is doing a proper research. Now, for example, you are working at X company and you have potential interview calls from A, B, C companies, right? So it's always good to go and have a look at Glassdoor or platforms like Glassdoor to understand more about the company and what exactly the interview process could look like. Because on Glassdoor, there are already employees who have ex-employees or people who have gone for interviews have already shared their information on Glassdoor. So you just go through it and you will have a vague idea about how the interview process will be. Apart from that, you can also look at the salaries on Glassdoor so that you will have a basic understanding on the range of salary that they are offering for this particular job. Now, for example, you are at 10 lakhs package and you are happy with 12. Now, imagine for your role that you are applying for, the range of salary that the company is giving is 16 to 18. That means you are undervaluing yourself, right? You can always play some games to reach that level of 16. Of course, if you are happy with 12, you will be more than happy with 16 as well, right? So doing research is very, very important. The second most important thing that you should take care is whenever you are applying for a job in XYZ company, always try to create connections on LinkedIn. Now I'll give examples so that you understand. For example, you are applying for Capgemini, for example, or let's say Infosys, right? Try to go and look out for people who are already in Infosys in that particular location, and always try to find low rank employees. For example, you are going for a senior role, go for junior level employees so that you can make some connections, have some initial interactions, and probably ask them something about what's the ongoing projects, because that will give you an idea about what type of projects it could be. I understand the example that I gave was for Infosys and Capgemini, which are consulting firms, but it's always good to connect so that you understand what could potentially be your next project. So, the third most important thing is, which is very, very crucial in your job hunting process, especially when you crack a job or even before cracking a job when HR calls you, the third most important thing is never ever disclose your salary expectations. Now, there is a story behind this. I'll talk about the story during the end of this video, but when I say do not disclose your expected salary, the reason is if you're giving an expected salary, there could be a chance that there would be negotiations on the go. For example, Infosys has called you, or let's say I'll give some other example. Let's say Amazon has called you for a job interview, and then you are currently at 12 lakhs. Your expectations are around 18 lakhs, and you for the sake of an upper limit, you give them 20 lakhs, right? Now there are two scenarios. Amazon has a budget of 20, they will agree. If they don't have a budget of 20, they will try to negotiate. But irrespective of the fact that they have or they don't have the budget, it's the responsibility of tech recruiters to lower down the expected salary. They will always try to make it as low as possible. So when you say 20, they will come to 16, you say 18, they go 17 and they freeze it. So my strategy is, like, again, it's my strategy, and I share it with many other people. Many of them are helpful. So it depends. I'm not saying that this is the best technique, but I usually don't give a number. The reason being, I feel that if I'm giving a number, that means I'm restricting myself to that number, and that's why I don't give a number. For example, I'm at 12 lakhs package. I will not give a number. Rather, I will say that I'm actually considerate about the expected salary. I don't have anything in the range. I would like to go ahead with the interviews, and I want you to put a number for the time being, and we'll see in the next rounds of the interviews how it goes, and we'll try to have a negotiation at a later stage. Now in this process, what happens is, you want to give yourself time for the interviews, and when you go for interviews, when you go through the technical interviews, you know whether your interview has gone good or not. If it has gone good, then they will come back with a salary, and if you're fine with it, you can fight. But imagine your interview was flawless. In that case, whatever your number will be, I'm pretty much sure the company will be ready to pay. So that's why it's always better to have negotiations at the end of the entire interview process. Now, talking about the most important thing, which was the art of negotiations, right? I told you I will be sharing some information at the end. So, these are based on true events, right? The examples that I'm going to give are actually they have happened. In my career, it has happened, and some of the students that reach out to me for one-to-one, it has happened with them as well. So, giving an example, yes, there is an art of negotiation, how you want to negotiate with the recruiters to get more salary, right? I'm not talking about the scenario where usually people, what they do is they get 5 or 6 different offers and they play around with different companies to increase the salary. So that is a separate process. I don't want to talk. If you have multiple offers from A, B, C, D, E, and you can actually play around with A, B, C, D, E and see which of them is actually giving you the best salary. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about a normal scenario where you are working at X at a package of, let's say, 10 lakhs, and your Y company has reached out to you and they are offering you 12, for example. So real time example, one of my student had reached out to me. She had 10 lakhs package, 4.5 years of experience into HR domain, but she had experience working on Excel and Power BI. So she already had some knowledge on data analytics, but she was completely transitioning from a non-technical role to a technical role, which is a senior data analyst role. And the company offered her 12 lakhs. She reached out to me for a one-to-one that, sir, I really like the job. I have no complaints. I'm going to join for sure. But they have offered me 12. And if they would have offered me like 14 or 15, I would have really be happy. And that is where I asked her to go for a one-to-one call with me, because I need to understand her background. I need to understand a little bit more about her interview process, what has gone good, what has not gone good, and so on. So that's why we went on a one-to-one call. Now, I'll talk about what happened in the one-to-one call, but in case you also want a one-to-one call with me, which is not free, of course, because I invest a lot of time in one-to-one calls, but it's a minimal charge. The link will be in the description. You can reach out to me for a one-to-one call if needed. You can check out the price in the description. Now coming back to this topic. So what happened in that one-to-one call was, I took more information about the candidate's profile, what exactly her profile is, what is her experience level, and all those things. And the most important thing is I asked her about her interview experience. She told the interview was flawless. She was asked about time intelligence functions, about some reporting things, about some data cleaning activities, and it went flawless. So, as per the candidate, it went flawless. I also need to understand from the employer side whether she was actually flawless or not, because in interviews, when we give interviews and you are satisfied, you always think I did the best, right? But from we also need to think from the interviewer side, right? Because he or she is also interviewing 10 other people, right? So I basically asked her 5 to 6 questions to understand her level of answering, understand whether she is able to answer properly or not in a structured way. And I realized that yes, she is able to answer. And then I actually told her that you can play a game to increase your expected salary from 12 lakhs. And that is where my role came into picture. So in order to increase your expected salary, there are two different techniques. One of the technique is be firm. If they need you, if your interview was good, they will pay you whatever you want. Let's say you want 16, you have to be determined and reject the job offer. While rejecting the job offer, they will think that this candidate is fixed at 16, there is no scope of negotiation, and then they will either give you the offer or try to call you for negotiations or find another person, right? But in this situation, I have a different thinking ability. What I usually do is, and I have been doing in my previous companies as well, and I have done it with many other students, what I recommend is just send a mail. Now there are two ways to talk to the employer: mail or phone calls. Phone calls are always recommended because emails are fine, but phone calls are very important. So it's better to send a mail. Now, what will the mail body? The mail body will be, I'll definitely leave the template in the description so that you can check it out. You can always use ChatGPT to generate these kind of templates. It's not rocket science. But the main idea in the template, in the email was, see, I'm happy about the job offer. I'm really happy about the company. I have, you just need to show them that you are very, very interested, but there is something in your mind that's going on, and I need to discuss further about this with you. Would you be interested for a quick call? This is what you need to send in the email. And once they call you, you need to explain them about a situation where you actually love this job. This is like your dream job. You have to let them know, I'm ready for change, I'm ready to give my 200%, but the thing is I'm not happy at the salary expectations that you have given me. So what's in my mind is around 16 or 17. That would have been the ideal rates or ideal expected salary, but something below 14 will be discouraging for me. I will not be able to give 100%. I will not be happy. When I'm joining your company, I want you and me both to be happy. So this is what my proposition is. If you are able to give me 14 or 15, I'll be more than happy to join. At 12 lakhs, I'll still join you, but it's just that I'll be very, very low on my, I'll be very, very low. I'll not be able to give my 100%. Something back in my mind, something will go on. So this is the thing I wanted to disclose. So be open about this. And 99% of the cases, I'm pretty much sure they will come back and try to give at least what your lower bracket is. Not the upper bracket, at least the lower bracket. So this is the art of negotiations. Apart from that, some people also take determined steps. Like I have done that as well, but it's risky. So the step is, you just have a talk with them, have a discussion with them, let them know you're interested, this is my expected salary, anything below that is not possible. And if they say no, because usually in the first attempt they might say no, they will see whether the employee is interested in the offered salary or not. So in that situation, you can cut it off. I'm not interested. So thank you for the opportunity. It was a great time spent during the interview process. I enjoyed the process entirely, but 12 lakhs is not something I'm looking at, so I'll try to let it go. And we'll see if we can collaborate in the future. And I'm pretty much sure if you do this, there are chances that they will come back. But it's a risky step. I usually don't recommend that, but this is what it is. Apart from that, as I said, there are many other things. The things that I have talked in this video are very general point of view. It's applicable for most of you, but things could be different from person to person. In case you want a dedicated one-to-one with me, the links are already in the description, or else reach out to me on WhatsApp. We can mutually decide a time and then we can go ahead with the call. That's all about it. See you. Enjoy the job hunting process. In case you have any other questions, you don't want to pay, then just comment it out and we will try to answer you back. That's it. See you in the next video, and trust me, next video is going to be a technical video. No more non-technical videos. See you. Bye bye.